Good morning, guys, and welcome to the u.osu.edu Power PC build for 2014, part of the S.T.E.P program at the Ohio State University. I thought I'd go ahead and try a new way of kind of explaining how I'm going to go about doing things for this project. I went ahead and started the blog, which you guys are obviously aware of because I will most likely be posting this there. I also am going to try and take videos, as I said on the first post. I'm going to take videos of the project as I progress through it, but then I also thought, hey, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes of just me thinking about how I want to do things, what other parts I want to buy. So I thought this might be a good way of going ahead and doing that. So what I'm going to talk about in this podcast, or whatever you want to call this recording, I'm going to talk about how I want to do the actual setup post putting everything together. So let's just get right into it. I didn't buy any kind of monitors or any kind of peripherals on the on that sheet from PC Parts Pickers that I showed you guys. That was because I also already have two AOC i2367F monitors. They're matte 1080p monitors. They're great for what I need them for. So I didn't include those on there. I also didn't include keyboards or a mouse because I have those. The keyboard's name is not coming to me at the moment. I want to say it's like a Logitech K100, K something. And the mouse that I have is a Logitech Performance Mouse MX. They're both pretty well known when it comes to keyboards and mice, so I'm not really worried about the quality that I'd be getting out of those, so I'm just going to go ahead and stick with that. I may go ahead and buy a mechanical keyboard down the line at some point, but that's not really in the cards at the moment. So at this point in time, what I'm going to go ahead and do is talk about the setup, the physical setup of how I'm going to arrange everything after everything's been put together. So I'm looking at right now an OFC Express keyboard, monitor riser or stand. If you guys know much about computers, may or may not, but a lot of the stands that you see are VESA mount compatible, meaning that there's more or less these. A VESA mount has 4 screw holes, kind of at each corner of a square. So what a monitor can do is, if they're VESA compatible, they'll have these 4 screw holes on the back, and then you can mount these on a stand. And basically, I'm sure you guys have seen them around. There are these usually two arms. In some cases they're one arm, but they can just hold a monitor off a table or off a surface, and it's very, very nice. You can kind of reorient them the way you want, and in that way you don't need a monitor that has tilt or rising capabilities on its own. Those are incorporated into a VESA mount. I have monitors that are not VESA compatible, so what I'm going to have to do is find another way around that. And what I need, what I realized that I could use is a monitor riser, which is basically like a tiny little shelf that sits on top of your table or your setup or whatever. The nice things about risers, I feel, is that obviously there's going to be empty space between the top of the riser and the table. So what I realized over the course of my first and second year at college, sitting at a desk all day, is that it's very important to know how to manage the amount of space that you have. What you'll realize very quickly is that the desks that they give you do not have much space on them to begin with, so you have to be kind of smart in how you arrange everything. Because I use 2 monitors, I may even actually start thinking about using 3 now here pretty soon. It was very important that I find a way to arrange those monitors in a way that I don't compromise a lot of desk space. Now, monitors take up a lot of space, so it was a difficult challenge. What I ended up doing is I found out that you can remove the stands on my monitors themselves, and they can actually have the ability to sit flat on a surface. That's a built-in. Getting a text here. That's actually a built-in capability of the monitor, so it was very, very nice for that. Um, so what I'm going to go ahead and do with this riser is that I can put the monitors on top of the riser, and then I can slide my keyboard and my mouse underneath the riser. So that way when I don't need those things, they're going to be completely out of the way, and it's not going to be obtrusive to me in any way when I'm just doing homework um, on a sheet of paper and pencil. So that's the plan for the risers. Last year, what I had done to alleviate the situation with having monitors and keyboards and mice on my table was I bought this kind of how can I explain it? It was kind of a pivoting arm attached to I'd say a maybe 1.5 square foot pad. And what I did is I mounted that on the side of my desk and had the arm loop under the desk, and I had my keyboard attached to that platform, to the end of that arm. So then what I could do is just easily slide in and out the keyboard when I needed it, and then when I didn't need it, and it wouldn't take up any more desk space. Couldn't do the same thing about a mouse, but hey, those are generally a lot smaller, so it wasn't a big deal just pushing that off to the side. Having this riser, I feel like it's just going to make things a lot easier to use, so that might be something you guys may want to look into if you choose to do something similar in your STEP project, or if you decide to build a computer on your own. For now, that's all that I have going on. It's Sunday, May the 11th. I probably should have included that at the beginning, but today is Sunday, May the 11th, about 9 days after I posted my first post on the Ohio State blog. I'm actually still waiting on the money to come through. I saw that the S.T.E.P fellowship got fulfilled, so at this point in time, I'm just waiting for it to arrive. I'm not quite sure if it's supposed to show up in my bank account, if it's just supposed to show up in check form, or if it possibly is supposed to show up somewhere on the Ohio State Buckeye Link Center where I can go and maybe move it around to my bank account or whatnot. Still trying to get information on that. So as soon as I figure that out, I'll go ahead and give you guys an update and let you know when I start ordering parts. As of right now, the first thing I'm going to go ahead and buy is the CPU. I guess I wouldn't say that's the most important, because more often than not, the graphics cards are what's going to limit you and what you can do with your computer. But the CPU is the first thing I'm going to buy at my local Micro Center, because I found out that my CPU that I'm looking at, the top of the line CPU, is going to be about $80 cheaper at my local Micro Center versus buying it online. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do first. I'll go ahead and give you guys an update, probably via a video versus an audio themed channel of response, I suppose, because at least that way you guys can see it. Anyway, without further ado, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I'm going to go ahead and call this off for now. So, hope to have an update for you guys within a week. I'll see you guys soon.